In this short tutorial, we will look at buying foreign currencies. This is another way of saying if you start out with US dollars and you go to a foreign country and you need to acquire some of that foreign currency, how do you go about calculating how much foreign currency you'll get for your US dollar? First step is to decide whether you are buying or selling the foreign currency in the problem. If you're buying a foreign currency, then you'll use the formula US dollars times the exchange rate. You will then substitute in the number of US dollars into the formula. You will then substitute in the exchange rate into the formula, and then multiply the number of US dollars by the exchange rate. Let's look at an example. Colleen is traveling to Mexico and needs to buy the Mexican currency, the peso. $1 is worth 12.2 pesos, and Colleen has $500 and she wants to exchange it for pesos. The first question we need to ask is Colleen buying pesos or selling pesos? Well, if we look at the problem, we see the word buy. So this probably indicates that Colleen needs to buy the foreign currency, the peso. Sometimes these types of problems might be worded a little bit differently. For example, it might say something like Colleen is traveling to Mexico and needs to get pesos for her trip. Once again, this is basically the same problem because we're starting out with dollars and we're going to want to go to pesos. Our next step is to write down the formula for doing the calculation, and that is US dollars times the exchange rate. Our next step is to look in the problem for the number of US dollars that Colleen has, in this case $500. We take the $500 and we substitute it into the formula. Our next step is to find the exchange rate, and so we have a sentence that reads $1 is worth 12.22 pesos, and this is the indication of the exchange rate. Sometimes the sentence might read the exchange rate between the US dollar and the Mexican pesos is $1 per 12.22 pesos. So in this case, in either case, we're going to substitute in whatever the exchange rate is into the formula. And in this case, it is 12.22 pesos. So we take the 12.22 pesos and we put it into the formula. Our next step is to multiply 500 times 12.22 pesos, and that gives us a total of 6,110 pesos. So that when Colleen has $500 US, she's able to purchase 6,110 pesos with it.